Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruchakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of great milestone that rule well. And shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. I am the brother Kalab from the GMS UK London Forecasters Camp, coming back at you with another lesson to help edify those of which I spoke of. So this is going to be another short lesson, Lord willing. Just going into the fact that there are a lot of women who are harlots that will receive salvation before women in the world who technically wouldn't consider themselves to be harlots, but really they are. Because we know that a lot of women in this world are behaving like harlots, although they don't call themselves as having that profession. But a lot of them live that type of lifestyle because they're not looking to settle down with one man. They're looking to play the field. And as Elder Markham often says, they want to ride the cock carousel. Well, the truth of the matter is that a lot of the women of the world are doing that, but they don't want to call themselves that. They'll call themselves just being feminists or being strong, independent women and all these other kind of terms that they'll want to use it. But then there's women who are in this world caught up in the lifestyle of actually living that lifestyle of being a genuine, escort or prostitute or harlot. But they're actually honest with themselves about their lifestyle. And a lot of them would rather not be in that lifestyle, but circumstances have led them into living that life. But deeply inwardly in their heart, they may actually be believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, if they're Israelites, and they may see salvation before a lot of women in the world. Now I want to make the point that even in Yahushai's genealogy, you have harlots who are recorded. Now to have your name recorded in the scriptures is no light thing. So for the fact that their names are recorded, that's actually an honourable thing. So let's get into it. This is Matthew 1, going into the genealogy of Yahushai. Matthew 1 and 1, the book of the generations of Yahushai HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. It says Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, right? So you've got Judas, that would be Judah, right? Where you get the name of the tribe Judah, the head tribe. Now the point is that Judas begat Pharez and Zara of Tamar. Now in the account, Tamar was being a harlot. Let's see if I can get the account for you. Let me get it. Hold on, let me pull it up. Bear me a second. Right, let's go to Genesis 38. It's going to be an account, but we'll get into it. This is Genesis 38 from verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her. Now when it says a man went in unto her, it means that he had sex with her, right? And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Er. And she conceived and bare a son, and she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chizab when she bare him. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Yahweh, and Yahweh slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go into thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed unto thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, and it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. So that was a wicked thing that he did. And the thing which he did displeased Yahweh, wherefore he slew him also. Right? Then said Judah to Tamar his daughter-in-law, remain a widow at thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he die also, and his brethren did. As his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in the process of time, the daughter of Shua, Judah's wife, died. And Judah was comforted when he went up into his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, behold, thy father-in-law go up to Timnath to shear his sheep. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and she covered her with a veil. And covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which is by the way to Timnath, for she saw that Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. Meaning that she was obviously in her childbearing years, and she had an agreement with Judah that his youngest son, when he came of age, would be her husband. But Judah forgot his oath, meaning that Tamar was made to sit as a widow, and in order to get out of that situation, she put on the attire of a harlot and sat in the way, right? And when Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, because she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, go, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee. For he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, what wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, wilt thou give me a pledge till thou send it? And he said, what pledge shall I give thee? And she said, thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff that is in thine hand. And he gave it her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil, and put on her garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adulamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. Then he asked the men of the place, saying, where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, there was no harlot in this place. And he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the men of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. And Judah said, let her take it to her, lest we be shamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. And it came to pass about 3 months after, that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar, thy daughter-in-law, hath played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, bring her forth, and let her be burnt. And when she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, I am with child. And she said, discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet and the bracelets and staff? And Judah acknowledged them, and said, she hath been more righteous than I, because that I gave her not Shelah my son. And he knew her again no more. And it came to pass in the time of her travail, that behold, twins were in her womb. And it came to pass that when she travailed, that one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first. And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that behold, his brother came out. And she said, how hast thou broken forth? This breach be upon thee. Therefore his name was called Phares. And afterwards came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zara. So going back to the genealogy of Matthew 1, it says in the genealogy of verse 3, Matthew 1 and 3, and Judas begat Phares and Zara of Tamar. There you go. So a harlot, someone who played the role of a harlot, is here recorded in scriptures by name. And Phares begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram, and Aram begat Amminadab, and Amminadab begat Nason, and Nason begat Salmon, and Salmon begat Boaz of Rahab. There you go. So who's Rahab? Rahab is the harlot that hid Joshua and his men when they were spies. Let's get that. When they were spying out the land of, is it what is that city called? Is it Jericho? Let's read it. Get the real answer. Yeah, this is it, Jericho. Book of Joshua, chapter 2, verse 1. And Joshua, the son of Nun, sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy out secretly, saying, Go, view the land, even Jericho. And they went and came into a harlot's house named Rahab, and lodged there. And it was told to the king of Jericho, saying, Behold, there came men in hither tonight of the children of Israel to search out the country. And the king of Jericho sent unto Rahab, saying, Bring forth the men that are come to thee, which are entered into thine house, for they be come to search out all the country. And the woman took the 2 men and hid them, and said thus, There came men unto me, but I wist not whence they were. And it came to pass about the time of the shutting of the gate, when it was dark, that the men went out. Whither the men went, I wot not. Pursue after them quickly, for ye shall overtake them. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house, and hid them with the stalks of flax, which she had laid in order upon the roof. And the men pursued after them the way to Jordan unto the fords, and as soon as they which pursued after them were gone out, they shut the gate. And before they were laid down, she came up unto them upon the roof, and she said unto the men, I know that Yahweh hath given you the land, and that your terror is fallen upon us, and that all the inhabitants of the land faint because of you. For we have heard how the Lord Yahweh dried up the water of the Red Sea for you, when ye came out of Egypt, and what ye did unto the 2 kings of the Amorites that were on the other side Jordan, Shihon and Og, whom he utterly destroyed. And as soon as we had heard these things, our hearts did melt, neither did there remain any more courage in any man because of you. For Yahweh your power, he is most high in heaven above and in earth beneath. See, this is why Rahab found favor, because she believed in the power of the Lord and what he had promised to do unto his people, which were the Israelites. Therefore, Rahab is going to be shown favor. Let's read more. Now, therefore, I pray you, swear unto me by Yahweh, since I have showed you kindness, that ye will also show kindness unto my father's house, and give me a true token, and that ye will save alive my father, and my mother, and my brethren, and my sisters, and all that they have, and deliver our lives from death. And the men answered her, Our life for yours, if ye utter not this our business. And it shall be, when Yahweh hath given us the land, we will deal kindly and truly with thee. And she let them down by a cord through the window, for her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, Get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days, until your pursuers be returned, and afterwards ye may go on your way. And the men said unto her, We will be blameless of this thine oath which thou hast made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, thou shalt bind this line of scarlet thread in thy window, which thou didst let us down by, And thou shalt bring forth thy father and thy mother and thy brethren and all thy father's household home unto thee. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of thy house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with thee in thine house, his blood shall be upon our head, if any hand be upon him. And if thou utter this our business, then we will be quit of thine oath, which thou hast made us to swear. And she said, according unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away and departed, and she bound the scarlet line in the window. So the point is, Rahab and her household was spared, right? Now, the ultimate point that I want to make in this lesson is this. A lot of women out here are going to be humbled and humiliated because there are harlots that are going to be more in favor and receive grace from Yahushua at his return than a lot of so-called Israelite women who are full of pride and think that their shit don't stink. You know, because of their pride, they're going to be destroyed. But those that have lived maybe the life of playing a harlot, but are humble, and maybe they've treated certain men of the Lord really well, they may receive a blessing of the Lord as a result of it. Let me get this one precept. This is Matthew 10 and 42. Book of Matthew chapter 10 and verse 42. Let me read into it. Matthew chapter 2, 40. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 40. Not Matthew 2, forgive me. Matthew 10 and 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever, here's the point, and whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward. Right? So what did Rahab do? She received the men of the Lord as men of the Lord. And she treated them kindly. And she got dealt a reward for it. You know, there are a lot of... This is the thing. You got to use your imagination when reading the scriptures. Just because the scriptures are talking about one or two people, you have to remember that there are like, you know, thousands, if not millions of other people walking around in the background in all these scenes, or, you know, going to the shop, or, you know, going about their daily lives in the midst of all that was taking place that was recorded in the scriptures. So the fact of the matter is this, the point of the matter is that I'm trying to make is this, is that there are women who may perhaps be looked down upon in this world by other women as of being of no value, or of being of little worth, who are actually going to be recorded in the scriptures because maybe they have done kind deeds unto the men of the Lord in this time. You know, in this go around, in this lifetime, there may be certain women who have helped out certain brothers in certain ways, and the Most High will bestow a reward upon them for it. And maybe their names will be recorded in the scriptures also in the future books that are going to be written, because what we're really living in right now is the book of Acts chapter 2. You know, the scriptures say the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Well, guess what? Lord willing, we be those men, where those men coming back and fulfilling the prophecies out in this time, which are going to be recorded for people to read about in the kingdom. You know, so I'm saying that to say this to a lot of women out there. You shouldn't be prideful in looking down on other women, because at the end of the day, there are harlots recorded favourably in the scriptures, even in the genealogy of Yahushua himself. So let that be a lesson to you. So I'll end the lesson there with that. I want to give once again all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem Rachahodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of all well, and Shalom unto the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect that are destined to be saved. And I'll catch you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Shalom for now.